Okay, we're going to do joints and controllers for the lips. And this would be applicable if you wanted to do joints and controllers for the eyes. Okay, be the same type of setup. I'm just not going to be doing that. But if you want to do stuff like that for your brows, you can do that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn on the geometry. So he's going to have a few more joints than probably a more humanoid character would need, just simply because he has a lot more of a lip right through here. Um, but it's going to be the same type of setup going through here. So we'll just go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my joint tool. We're just going to go and create one. Did it do it? I don't think it created a joint. Let me go into my that I thought that was my perspective. Okay, orthographic side view. Okay, that should work now. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and this will be my front center. Let's just go and kind of start naming this top lip joint one, and I'm gonna go and do Control D. You'll see it just kind of names it. I'm gonna do Control D, Control T, Control D. And just kind of spread these out. And for a lot of human characters, I usually just end up doing 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. It really just depends on what you end up needing. Okay, so I got basically 5 in here, and then we'll do another one. Put that one right there. That's going to be called bottom lip joint. One. And then we'll do Control D for 2. Okay. So we'll just do basically the same number. And make this go back to perspective. There we go. Okay. And we're just going to move these joints over. Basically just kind of sit them in the area. There's not really going to be a joint chain that we're setting up. We will nest these under a parent. So like either the jaw joint, one of the jaw joints, or the head center joint, depending if it's going to be top or bottom. But these are really going to just be superficial joints that are going to move a little bit of an area. Okay. So something like that. All right. Let's do top left lip joint 2. And actually, let's just do a search and replace. And we'll just put in top and replace it with top left. Okay. We'll do the same thing. Modify, search and replace. We'll do bottom. We'll do bottom left. Okay. There we go. All right. So for each one of these joints, I'm going to go and take them, and I need to attach them essentially to one of these jaw joints. It could be the tip joint, it could be, the mid joint, it could really be any of these. It just needs to, you need to think about where it's going to go. It's going to follow the jaw, so it needs to be below the jaw pivot, since that is what is moving. So consider where you would want to put it. Okay. I'm going to go and just put it right here. Actually, no, let's put it, that's where the tongue hooks in. Let's do, it's great. Let's just do this one right here, jaw joint 2. That'll be fun. Okay, so you see how it kind of branches out. This kind of refers to a star pattern. You'll see, you'll hear sometimes referred to star, like maybe like a star face joint pattern for facial rigging. You see a lot in video games. All right, I'm gonna need to mirror these over. Actually, let me just readjust his position. Okay, that should be fine. Make sure these are in the lip. Okay, so I'm gonna grab all of these. Let's go to rigging, skeleton, mirror joints. Look for left, replace with right. Apply. Let's see, too many arguments. Okay, it's looking for too many branches. Apply. Okay, we're just gonna do it one at a time then. Actually, let's change this from mirror function. Let's do it to orientation. Maybe that'll give us a little bit of a better thing, so we don't have like weird flipping joints sometimes. Okay. So we got all of that. Let's go ahead and take these. I'm gonna do the same thing. We'll put them. We'll just put them right there. Okay. Then we'll just go ahead and apply. And apply. Okay. And you'll see how it just renames it as we go through here, which is good. That's what we want. Okay. Let's go and save it. And we need to go and create some controllers. So I'm gonna let's do a little prism sphere controller. I kind of like using these as little, like just superficial surface controllers. I feel like they work really well. Okay, let's turn off the geometry and snap it. Is that gonna be too big? Maybe a little too big. Let's change that. We call it top lip con 1. Okay. Reset transformation. And we're going to go ahead and do a Control D and V and snap it over here. Left lipcon 2. Control D. Snap it over. Oh, didn't need to save it. Control D. Snap it over. And then snap it over. Okay, so we got top lipcon 1, and then it'll be top left going out to about there. Okay, so that'll work well. I'm going to do another one. So that'll go here for the bottom, and that'll just be bottom lip con 1. You could do middle if you wanted to. That works better for you. Then we do control another one. Snap it over. Oh, not that one. And we'll just go and name that one to bottom left. Lip con 2. Control D. Control D. Control D. There you go. Come here. Come on. There we go. Okay. All right. Bottom left lip con 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just grab all of these. And we're just going to freeze transformations. I'm not worried about the rotations right now. These really are going to be more just for positioning. We can do a little bit of rotation with them, but I'm just not really worried about that. The way I use these is I kind of just lift the lips and move them into shape if I need to. Okay, so I just, that's the way I kind of work with it. So yeah, freeze transformations. And then I'm going to go ahead and just disconnect both of these. And I'm going to group this together, and I'm going to mirror it over to the other side. Edit, duplicate special, copy, copy, scale. Yeah, so duplicate special. And then we'll do a search and replace left with right. Oops. Right, there we go. Okay. Place, bottom right, bottom right, bottom right, top right, top right, top. Okay, cool. All right, we got all that. All right. All right, I'm going to go ahead and unparent them. You'll see that we immediately got a rotate Y on there. I'm going to do the same thing with these guys. So we have a whole bunch of controllers here. And I'm going to do another freeze transformation just so the right ones lose that transformation in there. And I'm going to take all the bottoms, left and right, group them. Bottom lip con group. That's everything but that one. Okay, yep, I need to put that one in there too. All right. All right, top, Control G, top, lip, con, group. Okay, you're probably wondering why am I doing this? So the bottom lip cons need to move with the bottom jaw. So I'm grouping them together. So then I can take the bottom lip con group and then take the jaw controller and basically just group them under it, okay? Just like that. And then the top lip con group is going to go up to the head con. I'm going to parent them under there. So they will move with the head controller, okay? And then we're going to do parent constraints from controller to joint, all right? So then we can then control each individual joint. So we could do constrain, yeah, parent, so we're just going to do that. We're going to do control parent, and just go through them one by one. Again, I'm just hitting G just to redo that last used tool. Just working my way around. Let's go in, test all of these, make sure they work. And so once we skin this, or skin bind it to the joints, what's going to happen is then we'll just go in and paint influences in for each portion of the lip. Because the mouth tends to get a little insane, but we will be doing basically just really selective weight painting, so that only portions of the lip actually follow certain portions or certain controllers in certain joints. So then we can get a little bit, a little bit more work into here, a little bit more expressiveness, which is really what, the kind of the point what we're really looking for. So that'll be really useful. Back on. There we go. Want to make sure all those controllers are visible, so we're good. Okay. And they're pretty dark. There's no reason why we couldn't just go in and change the color on these. So I'm looking for override, draw, overrides. Where is that? Here it is. It's under curve shape, drawing overrides, enable overrides. And you can kind of change whatever color you want. You'll see once you start playing with a lot of rigs and stuff and messing with them, you'll see that sometimes you'll have like certain colors for specific body parts, or maybe like red is used for like one body part or one side of the body, whereas green is maybe used for another side of the body. So if you see like 2 foot controllers, you know which one's which. Pretty useful. I found honestly just making different color controllers makes it a whole lot easier for me to recognize, like say top lip and bottom lip. That could be useful. So I'm going to do green here for the middle. I could do the green. Let's say, red for, let's do red for right. And we'll do blue for left, and we can find like a bright blue. Yellow actually is pretty bright. Yellow. Yeah. Sadly, it doesn't appear we can do like multiples of these and change color, at least. Yeah, so it only does like the last selected ones. You have to go through and do each one of these. Just kind of a bummer. There are some Maya scripts. Which actually, you know what, that maybe consider. There should be, if we look at the script editor, yeah, see, it's doing select attribute or set attribute. So it's doing override enabled, and then it should have a value or something right here. But it's not showing it. Okay. So I was thinking, sometimes we can grab code like MelScript and make a button out of it. So if there's like a certain like color or something we wanted to select or set, we could do that. And I know there are some scripts you can download from like High-End 3D or CG Trader, places like that, to create basically to change change the color of the controllers if you wanted to. But you see now it's easy to see. You know, you got your center controllers, you got your right, you got your left. So it's a little bit easier to kind of understand what you're looking at. You could also do, you know, a pink one for the jaw. Get that green one for the head. And then you could do like all of your neck would be like one color, all of your arms. You know, just again, just trying to make this a little bit more interesting and a little bit more, you know, just visually, just a little bit more interesting to look at. A little bit of a tangent I'm kind of getting on right now. That's okay. Anyway, so just make sure we got all our transformations good. All right, we're happy with that. So that's gonna be our lip controllers. Um, so let's say, you know, let me talk about for a minute, you know, advanced stuff here. Um, so one of the things you'll see in in a little bit more advanced rigs, or just honestly not even that advanced rigs, this is, you know, even basic rigs might have this, but I'm not going to make it required. But you could combine the essentially the usefulness of ribbon spines, where we have that stretchy um, kind of quality to it. I think that's right. There it is. Where we have that stretchy quality, you know, with the neck and stuff. We could do that for the lips. How would we do that? So what we could do is we could actually um, create a couple of curves that go around the lip line. So like say, if I went ahead and just made this like a live surface, okay? We could make a couple of curves and make a NURBS plane, basically NURBS circle out of it, and then make essentially what amounts to as a ribbon spine. But these would be like the control joints, and then you have follicles that run around the perimeter of the lip. And so then, you know, when you move like this, it's not just moving this controller, it's also moving other stuff. So this, I'm going to run through it. And, you know, just for the heck of it, it's not something you have to do. I think it's a little bit more advanced than probably what, you know, a lot of you need, but it's kind of fun. It's just kind of fun to see and to do. So let me kind of play around. I've done it a couple of times before, and it works okay. It works well. So let's go and turn off our joints because they're kind of going to get in the way. So I'm going to go to joints, and let's go ahead and make. Come on, where are you, mesh? Why are we locked? Oh yeah, it's because I already made it. Yeah, I already did that. So I need to go to modeling, and I believe I need to go to curves. Is under actually is under create curve tool? Yeah, let's do an EP curve, object X, and let's see if this works. So basically, I'm just going to kind of actually let me back up. I'm going to do this. Go around this way. Okay. So I got that right there. Let's see, did it give me, I was kind of hoping it would do, go around the other side. I should be able to duplicate it. Okay. But I'm going to go and do the other one then. So let's do create. I'm just going to reuse that tool. Okay. Do it from the center. I'm just going to go down, just down along that lip line. Okay, cool. So I'm basically going to have an outer bound and an inner bound for that region. And I'm going to take both of these. Yeah, so I should be able to duplicate them over, edit, duplicate special. I just went ahead, turned off the mesh at both of the outer bound curves selected. Object mode, select them both curves. And I want to connect them, so I should be able to do close. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to merge them together. So let's do attach. Okay. So it looks like that made a secondary curve that actually has both of them on there, which is cool. Go ahead and hide that. That's kind of what I'm looking for anyways. And here, I want to take these two vertices, or these two control vertices, and I want to close them. So I'm going to do curves, attach. No, that's not going to work. Close, maybe? Open, close. I think it's because curves need to have a start and a stop point, so that's probably the point of it. Let's, yeah, it may still work anyways. Okay, we'll try it anyhow. So I got the outer bound. Let's go and do the inner bound curve. I'm going to go and grab both of these, and then we're going to go to curves, and it was, I believe, attach, right? Is it attach? Let's see. Change that. Curves. Actually, maybe we'll reverse it because they start off with a start, with a beginning and an end. And let's do attach again. Reverse one. Reverse two. Okay. I think that'll work, hopefully. I'll go ahead and hide the original curves. And let me double check my next step real quick. Okay. Yeah, the next step will work. So I need to, what I'm gonna do is grab my ends and just make sure they're like right on top of each other. And I'm actually gonna take both of these curves And I need to do a rebuild real quick just to make sure like their points are pretty closely together. So I'm going to go to curves. Let's actually save this real quick, just in case. Curves, and then I'm going to go to rebuild. And I want the number of spans. It's set to 12. So if you think about it this way, it's going to go over both sides. So it'd be like 6 and 6. I think 6 and 6 is going to be way too small. Probably 20, I'm guessing, is probably going to be a better option. So let's rebuild it. So that should be 20 and 20 for each one. So that one should be 20. And then we should have roughly matching spans. So each one should be 20 is what I'm making sure. So when I do what's called lofting, we should have a pretty good direct correlation for the planes. So what I'm doing is I'm going to go to surfaces. I'm going to go to loft. You'll see right here, loft options. And you need to have a outer bound and an inner bound curve in order for the loft to actually work. And it's going to essentially take both of these plane or I'm sorry, curves and turn them into a NURBS plane. Okay. So it's going to say output geometry NURBS, curve range. We're going to do complete, section spans. May need to change that. Surface degree, just leave it as is and click apply. And there we go. So that's not bad. I think, so that's, I believe that's 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, that's 20 spans. I think I need more, honestly, in order to make the NURBS follicles actually kind of work for me here. So we're going to rebuild the curve or rebuild the plane, and we're going to do it again. So let's do surfaces, rebuild. I'm going to do 40. Okay. We'll try vertical. It, you know, if it doesn't work, we'll just redo it and do the other way. Yeah, it definitely didn't work. Okay. Let's do 40 and 1. See if that'll work. Ooh, that's not bad. Okay. Let's do 40. No, we need to do a 46. Let's change it to 50. Okay. I just want to make sure we have enough area in here for us to actually work with the follicles. So we actually have some good stretching. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and do a delete by type on this one, delete by type history. And I'm going to go ahead and also, you do need to do a delete by type history on this, just FYI. I'm going to do lip ribbon. Okay. And in case you're curious, you could also apply this to the eyes. So when we do eyes, you can also follow this approach and do stretchy brows and all of this. You can do this with, you know, basically the entire face if you want to do like a stretchiness, stretchy fall off. Okay. So next step, since we're doing ribbon, is we're going to do effects, in hair, create in hair. And I think it ended up having to be 50 on the U. V was 1. Click apply. That looks perfect. Okay. So let's go ahead and go and delete our hair system, delete our nucleus, follicles. We need to delete all of those, and we need to delete the output curves. So we'll go and delete those. We just need the follicles, just like always. It's gonna be a little bit tougher because we have 50 of these to deal with. All right. Okay, we're just going to get rid of those. And then we'll do rigging, skeleton, create joints. We'll put a joint here. And we'll just call it lip follicle joint 1. And then we'll do it 50 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50. So we'll throw in here, this approach will directly benefit good topology. So I know a lot of you guys are kind of questioning, what's the point of the retopologization? So us having good topology like lip face loops around the lips and eyes and things like that, if you do approaches like this will directly affect that, and you'll have a better deformation result. You'll have better lip deformations because of it. So that is a benefit of doing this type of approach. Let's go and close this. There are approaches where you can basically do the same thing, but selecting edge loops and turn those into curves and then loft those curves. And so you wouldn't have to draw this on here. You would just have to basically just double click that one little edge loop, and it would go all the way around because you properly top of it, right? And then it would just go in and you would just follow the rest of this approach. This type of approach is good if you want to do like a really stretchy kind of cartoony face. If you want something that has some really good deformation, it's very, very useful. And it doesn't, it's not really taking any other skill set that we haven't learned already. So it's pretty good. At least I like it. Except the number of joints involved, that can be slightly tedious. But you see how fast I'm going through it. And I've only done this approach once or twice before.
some face rigs that I've worked with have some really unique features to them. The lips and eyes tend to be extremely flexible on humans. We can close our lips, we can close our eyes, and yet we can still move them around without actually opening them. And that's a pretty cool thing to recreate with a rig. And so I've worked with facial rigs that you could literally seal the lips shut, but then you would move the mouth open and it would actually look like the character was chewing or opening its mouth essentially inside of its own, with its lips sealed shut. That's really cool. Like that's a really nice feature. Uh, I would assume, I haven't done that yet, but I'm assuming the way that they're doing it is that probably there's a set driven key that is forcing the lips to, or the lip controllers and the lip joints, say like these control joints, to move in a certain direction and basically assume that position, and then it holds it shut while you move like the jaw and all that, and actually disconnects it from the jaw. So it's an advanced rigging, which is pretty neat. There's some rigs I've seen that have used what's called in-cloth on the face, and so it actually turns the face into a deformable mesh. And so anything that interacts with the face actually deforms. It deforms the face, which is pretty neat, seeing it happen. So you can move like the tongue inside the mouth and it would like push the cheek out, which is pretty wild. One of my favorite things, and we'll do it when we get to skinning, is having the eyeballs move around and they actually make the eyelids follow, which is pretty cool. There's just enough friction between the eye and the eyeball, the eyelid and the eyeball, to actually cause it to do that, which I think is pretty special. All right, we already got them all placed, and boom, we got them right there. Awesome. Yeah, there we go. All right. So what we would do here to finish this up is to go ahead and grab essentially all of those little control joints that we created. So at this point, they would be control joints. They weren't before, but now they are. They're control joints. Okay. And make sure we grab the right joints, not the follicle joints. That would not work. Okay, make sure we got them all. Okay, I think we got them. And then we're going to grab that lip ribbon. We're going to go to skin, bind skin, selected joints, bind skin. Now if we go ahead and open this up, look at that. That one's pretty good. You'll see that that's kind of deforming a little bit, but this is nice. This is stretching nicely right here. That'll actually be pretty good. We can fix this a little bit, do a little bit of weight painting. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and hide those. We don't actually, you know what? We don't actually need them. We're done. I'm going to delete them. So this is weight painting. We can go in and actually weight paint the areas here that we don't want to have Come on, and smaller. There we go. The weight paint areas we don't want to have influence. So like here, this top joint has a little bit of influence on the bottom. I'm gonna go to replace, value, and zero that out. Same thing here. I'm not gonna do all of it. Like we want to have some fall off here. So you see the bottom one here is getting a little bit of influence up here. So we're getting a little bit of influence from the other side. We're just gonna go through and paint it out. See, it's a little bit more deformation in some of these areas. There we go. I think we got a good bit of it. Maybe a little bit right here, a little bit right there. Okay. Just run through, check, make sure there's nothing popping up. Okay. Just kind of localizing it just a little bit. Oh no, just painting it out just a little bit. Okay. There we go. I think that'll work. Yeah. And then the control joints has some good stretchy controls over the lips. And so the deviation when we get to weight painting is when I bind the skin, I'm going to bind it to, I'm not going to include the control joints, but I will include the follicle joints. If you don't follow this approach, you're just going to have the control joints to bind to the skin. So that'll be the only deviation for you. A little bit, you'll have a little bit less weight painting. I'm going to have more just simply because I have just more stuff to deal with. Okay. All right, let's go and move on to the next section.